My name's Kirsty Dunphey, and I'm here today with Ron White, renowned memory expert, memory champion, I'm going to say, all the way from the United States. Thanks for being with us today, Ron.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Ron, you're from Texas. You're all the way over here in Australia. It's your first time in the country. First of all, what are your impressions of Australia like so far?
Well, I love it. You know, it's the people are so nice. You know, and it's beautiful countryside. You know, all the hills and the water. And in Texas, it's a flat desert. I love Texas. It's my home, but it's nothing like this. This is great.
Okay. And now, Ron, full time these days, you travel all over the world speaking to people about memory. I understand you started when you were about 18 years old.
I did. When I was 18 years old, you know, I went to work for a company that promoted seminars, memory seminars, and I took their class, and I was just blown away with what my memory could do. I mean, I had no idea. You know, you introduced me as a memory champion. I had no idea that I could sit down and memorize a 2,000-digit number in an hour, which I can do now. But
that's amazing. We won't get you to do that today.
Right. Okay, good. Because I don't know if I'm up for that. The time zone is a little different here, but anybody can do it, and it's just a matter of training. But 17 years ago, I had no idea. It was simply a class I took, a system I learned, and now I travel around and I teach other people how great their mental computers are.
All right, so how long would it take to teach me, for example, to be able to remember even a 100-digit number? How long do you think it would take you if we were doing one-on-one training for you to teach me that skill?
Well, you know, it's a simple system, and probably in 4 or 5 hours, you could have the basics to it. And then what you would have to do, the challenging part is your mind remembers pictures, your mind thinks in pictures. So the challenging part would be for you to come up with your own picture for every 2-digit number. In other words, 21 might be a deck of cards for blackjack. You know, but you could come up after you had a picture for every 2-digit number. Then using my system, I'd say in a week, I could have you memorizing a 100-digit number forwards and backwards, and then I could say what was the 50th digit, and you could say whatever it was.
All right. Sensational. It's hard to believe, but one reason I am not that skeptical is because I've done your program Memory in a Month.
Right.
So while I'm not quite at the stage of remembering a 2,000-digit number, I know quite easily now after doing that system I could remember 20 items randomly and tell you what the 17th item was, and I could do that in about a minute. So that's the power of that system. What I loved about it was the fact that it's a CD system, and you just do a little bit each day. Have you found that's the best way for people to learn memory skills?
Well, it is. You know, it's as far as the CD method, it really works well because they can, you know, they think, oh my gosh, there's no way I can memorize a 2,000-digit number in an hour. There's no way I can meet 150 people and memorize all their names in 20 minutes. And when they look at those big end goals, they think there's no way I'm going to do it. I'm not even going to try. But when I break it down into 10 minutes a day, little bitty steps that you do this today, you do this tomorrow, you do this, and it kind of builds. And then at the end of the course, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe
it's all come together.
Right, I can't believe I just did that. So it works really well.
Okay, and we've got you speaking for us here tonight, and you actually do something pretty exciting. You'll go out into the crowd before an event, and you'll meet 50, 100 people. You'll be able to remember every single one of their names. Can you explain to us just really quickly, what's the technique that you use for that? Obviously, we're not going to be able to do it, but what's the technique?
Well, you know, I'm sure everybody watching, they have shaken somebody's hand, and 2 seconds later they don't remember their name, or better yet, let's say we meet today. You know my name today. I know your name today, and then 6 weeks later I see you at a restaurant, and we think, oh my gosh, I remember that person. You could say where you met them, the details of the conversation. You can remember everything about them, but not their name. The reason for that is I remember your face because I saw your face. I'm not remembering your name because I'm not seeing your name.
Because there's no picture.
There's no picture. So you have to turn the name into a picture. Look at their face. Pick out something on their face that stands out. You know, maybe it's their hair, their eyes, their nose, their lips, their mouth, their eyebrows, or they got a beard or facial hair. That's going to become your landmark for their face. Then after you do that, take their name, turn it into a picture, and see that picture on the landmark. So let's say you meet a guy and he's got a really big nose, and his name is Steve. Well, you visualize a stove for Steve, and you shove that stove up his nose.
Okay, it's very graphic, isn't
it? It is graphic.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Then 6 weeks when you see him at the grocery store, you don't ask yourself, what is his name? You ask yourself, what's his file? Oh, it was his nose. What was coming out of his nose? A stove. And then you call him Steve. And in business, it's so crucial. You know, you meet somebody today, and in 6 weeks you remember their name.
That's a fantastic skill for anyone in business to
have. It is.
Absolutely.
You become their friend, and you get more business.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Now, this is not just a passion of yours. This is your business. This is what you do every day. I understand for the first couple of years, speaking, training, and building your business up, it wasn't necessarily the most successful business you've got.
To say the least.
What was the most difficult time for you during that?
You know, I remember sitting in my living room and, you know, several times a year, and the electricity would go out, you know, and I'd be, oh, shoot.
Not again.
I was trying to stretch it, you know, it was playing my luck or whatever, and You know, it was, you know, if you would have robbed me, you would have just been practicing. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping to make a little bit of money just so I would have been broke. But it was really bad. And then I think what really was the pivotal changer for me was I just got more focused. You know, I really got focused on what is my goal, and I was going in so many different directions. I was promoting seminars in all these different cities. And I was spreading myself too thin. I was focused on one city, and when I did, things just really started catapulting.
And was that your hometown, Dallas?
It was my hometown.
Okay, so start small in your hometown and then build up from there.
I had seminars going on in all different cities, and I was traveling there, so I had travel expenses there, hotels when I stayed there, long distance phone calls. And I scaled back, and it really paid off.
Okay, and now you've got people all over the world learning memory because of the way that you teach it. And now that you've built up that base there, I know you're traveling all over the world. You're obviously in Sydney speaking, in Tassie. Where else are some of the more exciting places you've been speaking?
Well, there's no places more exciting.
And Tasmania, exactly.
Right,
Come
but
on.
There are. I'll be in Bangkok in 2 weeks, in Malaysia. I was in Belgium about 3 or 4 months ago. I enjoy traveling, and I enjoy seeing the world in different parts of the world, and different cultures, and experiencing that. And this job gives me the opportunity to do that.
Fantastic. Now, you and I have spoken a little bit about a couple of your philosophies of life, and one of them, we had an email conversation going, and you said, "We're all dying, Kirsty." Right. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so morbid." But tell me your thoughts around that concept.
I don't remember telling you that, but I do believe I told you that. But you know, people always say, "Oh, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that the next day." Or I'm going to, you know, one day when I get everything together and everything's 100% perfect, then I'm going to pursue this business plan. I got a friend, and he says, when this is in line, and when this is in line, and when that's in line, then I'm going to start my business. And I said, hey, that's never going to come together. And that, you're dying, buddy. I mean, you are dying. We're all dying. What are you waiting for? Get out there and do it. Yeah. And that's my philosophy. We all are. Michael Landon, who was an actor, a bit famous in the United States, he was on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, which is a big show in the United States, 20 years ago. And he told Johnny, he said, I think when people are born, they should be told that they're dying. Because he was diagnosed with dying the last 5 years of his life, and he got so much done in that 5 years.
Gives you a different outlook on life, absolutely. Okay. All right, Ron, let's finish off with 5 questions in a flash.
Okay.
Think back to your childhood. Your earliest childhood career ambition was?
Police officer.
Police officer, all right. Sensational. Was there any time when you were an adult that you considered that career?
No, but I worked several speeding tickets into my life, so I've interacted with them quite a bit.
And you have a program on speed reading, so maybe you'll get a speeding fine for that. All right. Your favorite book?
The Bible.
Okay. Television, good or evil?
Oh, great. How else are you going to watch baseball?
There you go.
If you're out of the town or whatever.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, you and I have spoken about a failure that you had where you got involved with a business partner who perhaps wasn't the most reputable guy. For all the lessons that you learned, if you could go back in time and change that one big failure, would you do it?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so you'd keep it for the life lessons it taught you.
Right.
Okay. And if you could go into business with any one single person, alive or dead, who would it be? It's a tough one.
That is a tough one. Maybe Henry Ford. He really he had the philosophy of he'd rather have 1% of 100 people than 100% of one person, and I've always liked that philosophy of that. I like that philosophy.
And people can learn memory in any color they like as long as it's black. That was a Fordism.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's been fantastic having you here. Enjoy the rest of your stay in Australia, and we look forward to seeing you back soon.